Good afternoon, YouTube and Geek Hack. This is Melvang here, and this is going to be a before and after on my Floss mod using interior strands from paracord instead of the usual Oral-B Super Floss. As you can hear, it's got a fair amount of pain. As far as acoustics go in this room, it's a 100-plus-year-old house, lath and plaster walls, hardwood floors. I am on a very heavy, sturdy Manfrotto tripod. My keyboard tray is clamped pretty solid to my kitchen table. And I guess that's really about it. I did remember to turn the furnace off for this video. So, start pulling keycaps. And in this video I will not be doing the spacebar, because in order to do the spacebar that would require separating the plates. And the other video that I've done, I did the spacebar before I put the plates back together. And for record, this is an IBM F Model AT that I have ANSI modified. And I have also converted the number pad area to a straight 4x5 matrix. If anybody's curious in that modification, there's plenty of threads between Geek Hack and Authority on performing the ANSI modification. For the number pad area to a 4x5 matrix, all of the pads are there, and it works beautifully using the utility provided with the X-What's-It controller. Everything shows up, just figure out where it's at in the matrix and assign it to the scan code. That's all it takes. This particular keyboard has had a mat replacement, however I have not, so far that's the only thing I've done, is replace the mat, obviously the X-What's-It controller, and I've cleaned the caps, the ANSI mod, but aside from the mat I have done nothing else for sound deadening. And for those of you that don't understand or don't know why I'm not pulling the spacebar, it's because the stabilizer wire for the spacebar is underneath the plate, and the only way to remove it and reattach it is with the plates separated. And right now I am not going through the procedure of removing this keyboard from the keyboard tray as it is screwed in. And in case you guys can't see the legends I'm using in the number pad area. I do have them set as number pad scan codes, however I'm using number row keycaps, mostly just because of the fact that I have not been able to source a single unit 0 key for number pad area. Now, for the material that I use for this, just your standard paracord. Tools, I'm using Klein electrician scissors. These are model number 2100-7, made in USA. These are the Larson needle nose pliers, made in Sweden. These were from mkawa at geekhackers.org, and WASD branded wired key puller. Now for this, just cut off a chunk. I honestly have no idea how much it's actually going to take. This is only the second one I've done. Remove the inner strands. And there are seven strands in 550 pound test, paracord has 7 strands. I have seen paracord in 325 pound and 825 pound. I don't know a number of cores in that. And all the strength from paracord comes from the cores. The outer sheath is strictly a cover to keep the inside cores from getting cut due to abrasions, rubbing on rocks, that sort of thing. Pretty much all I do is just cut a whole bunch of pieces. And these Klein electrician scissors are the sharpest scissors I have in my house, and they cut this extremely cleanly. I tried using the Larson branded flush cutters from geekhackers.org, and just because the blades just meet together in the middle instead of passing each other like scissors, they don't cut this material very well. And now comes the tedious part. I'm taking a piece of this core material, slide it down in the springs. As you can see, this one is much too long, so all I do is just take these scissors, go right down to the spring, and cut. And if it sticks out just a little bit, or it pops out, you can kind of push it down in there with the needle nose pliers. And lather, rinse, repeat across the rest of the board. I have already used this same material. This is the same stuff I used on my XT. I'll post a link to those video clips down below. The difference though is with that particular keyboard still being mounted in the case, the ping wasn't near as evident. With this being naked out and just kind of sitting in the tray, it is much more evident in this one. And if you get one that doesn't want to go, flip it around. If it still doesn't want to go, just kind of get it a little wet. Put her back in. Well, I'm back. Apparently, there is a limitation in the Canon 7D that it shuts off your video recording at either 30 or 29 minutes 59 seconds or 4 gigabyte file size, whichever gets there first. And apparently at 1080p, the 4 gigabyte kicks in right about that 13-minute mark. So, due to the powers of video editing, I've finished everything up, got everything buttoned back up, and I have to say this is a much more dramatic improvement than I was anticipating. Yeah, my XT does have almost no ping, but this is not sitting in any sort of a case whatsoever. Anyways, here's the sound.